Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Telluride from our Telluride. This week's question
I have it right here.
makes it official.
How do you stay interested after 30 plus years? Dun dun dun.
Driving by this school reminds me of when the kids went to school,
Okay.
and that also reminds me of one of our favorite hacks.
Oh, a life hack?
Yeah, I don't think they were called life hacks back then. Maybe they were, but this is one of our favorite hacks. Can you guess what it is?
I mean, I know what it is because it was one of our favorite ones.
Because you looked at the script.
That helped too.
Okay. It is
Yeah, tell me about it.
the kids eat free hack.
Wow.
Kids
Wow.
eat free.
I mean, especially with the 4 or multiple kids, having restaurants that served free kids meals was like a blessing.
We
from the
had a whole list
Yes.
of what day of the week
Yes.
and who was free.
I
Right? So
had
it
a
was-
manila envelope.
We had a
with
manila
it written on
folder,
there.
manila folder.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Written of what restaurant and on what day the kids could eat free.
This folder held all our menus.
Yeah. That's
all
right.
our
Yeah,
to-go
To-go
menus.
menus.
Because I was big into go back then. Because I'll be honest, I didn't want to buy drinks.
And let me tell
Okay.
you, you're still kind of into that. And I'm like, let's go sit down. No.
And we do that. We do that. Okay,
yeah,
but
he likes to just bring it in.
I mean, I still give a gratuity.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that's
Because it's to go, car side, all that
Yeah.
stuff, whatever. And I'm growing out of it.
I've been interceding for this day. What? You're going
But
out of that?
we're this is not the topic. The topic is kids meals.
Kids meals.
Okay?
Eating free.
Kids might have got sick of them, you know? But that's okay. They weren't
But
paying.
But after 12, when they were finally sick
When
of
they
them,
were sick of
it
them,
was-
we had to pay for them, so we found different
so we
restaurants.
went different places.
But how about when they started saying, okay, one kid's meal per adult meal?
They were on to us, I guess.
They figured us out, but we got a good 6 or 7 years out of them.
Before they caught on.
We sure did.
Yeah, that's right. We were gaming the system.
This week's question, one of our friends asked this. Will you restate the question
Yes.
for the people who missed the beginning of the
Okay.
video?
So the question is,
The question is
how do you stay interested after 30 plus years?
how do you stay interested after 30 plus
You know
years?
what? We are well qualified for that. Because you
Well,
know what?
we're 30 plus
We're
years.
30
We're
plus
gonna figure
years.
out if
High
we're still
five.
interested.
Oh, can you high five
okay?
me while you're
We're-
driving?
well, I did.
You did.
And I can say I'm still interested.
Yeah, I can say that too. Guys, I can say that too.
We've discussed this. We've
Yeah.
not as therapy or as an answer, but I think there's 4 things to keep in mind, so that way, as a married couple, you stay interested.
Right. Yeah.
Now, number 1
Yeah.
is to have a healthy relationship
Yes.
with God.
Yes. Because that is a foundation.
That's the basis for everything.
And it just it is, because it's a foundation, it does set everything else up for success.
Yes. Even when things aren't going well.
No,
Especially
exactly.
when things aren't going
Especially
well.
then. Yeah.
Number two role,
Is husband and wife.
husband and wife.
Yes. Yes. Our
relationship.
Our relationship.
Number 1 role is our
God's
relationship,
relationship.
and then our
Our
relationship.
relationship.
Okay? So how does working and maintaining our relationship, our evolving relationship, how does that keep us interested?
Well, I think that I have to show interest in things that Rob likes. Now, vice versa, sure, but for me, I find that if I choose not to be interested in anything that he's doing, then we become very individualized. And so I don't know him well enough after time if I don't spend time with him and do things with him that he is interested in.
Right, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, now let me say this: Rob never went running with me. I was very interested
look at
in
me.
running, and I did that for many years and ran marathons.
I did
guarantee-
support your running.
He was a supporter, but never ran with me.
No.
Golf, I golf with him,
Sure.
but
There's a cart
that's just
involved.
and no, there's no bitterness. There's no bitterness.
But there are things that you like, you really like,
Yeah.
you know, to go shopping. But your definition of shopping isn't necessarily buying things.
No,
It's to
no.
go look what's up,
Just like
what's
to look
happening,
around.
look around, and then we like to say walk around and find out.
Yeah.
So walk around, and then if there's something that speaks to you, we'll go get it or we'll go find it or whatever. Okay? You like hiking. Okay?
wait.
That's not running. That's not running, but it is an outdoor activity.
And Rob must use hiking sticks because this is
because they're cool.
okay.
They're cool.
Maybe he feels
Shout out
safer
to
that
shout
way.
out to shout out to
Anyway,
Andy,
but
my friend Andy from
interest-
college in Colorado.
But staying and dating one another, all of these are super important. Knowing each other's interests and not that you have to do everything with your spouse, which you do not, because then that could be a problematic situation anyway.
Yeah, that borders on clingy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The husband and wife relationship is something it's always evolving.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You have grown and matured as a person since we first dated. And I like to think that I have matured as a person as well.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
And we are maturing and growing together.
Right.
We
That
are
change,
evolving together.
We change together, I like to say, because if you don't do that, you grow different places. The changing has to be together, and so you just stay interested in things that one another's doing, recreationally, but also, I like to go on dates. Maybe when we were younger, to super fancy things, or I would want, and I've changed from that. Now it is just, just some time together set aside as date, where we go sit
Where
at
can
a
we go
park
where it's
or,
quiet or sit at a park
and
or
just out of the house and intentionally spending some time together. That's a date.
put the devices away
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and
But we're
have
constantly
time together.
constantly a courting situation, because if you don't do that, the interest in extracurricular activities diminishes. You have to show respect and love to one another in I'm interested in you, or you don't get the extra stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're extracurricular. Oh,
There we go.
Got it.
So
okay.
that is just my tidbit on the good times.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So what's number 3?
Role number 3 is our roles. 1 is our relationship with God. 2, our relationship with each other. 3, our relationship as mom and dad with our children.
With our children.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if we're going to do hand motions, this.
Yes.
This.
This.
Now this.
Oh, this.
This. Okay, with others, with our children.
Little ones.
Well, but they're not
They're
little
not little
anymore.
anymore.
I'm happy to say, I'm thankful to say we have 4 wonderful children. All adults now.
All adults.
We have added 2 more through marriage.
Yes.
But all adults, functioning, healthy, educated, the whole thing.
Right.
Okay. And what we did may not be what you need to do. We're not saying that, but this is just what we did.
Yeah.
We got to ask the question, okay?
Yeah.
And so we
you get an
never we never prioritized. We did not prioritize them
Right.
over the previous two roles.
Right.
God was always first.
Yes.
A healthy relationship
With
between
each-
us was 2nd, and they were third.
Yes.
Okay? Because if you don't have the other two, you can't be good at the third.
No.
Okay?
Exactly.
We supported them in things. We did things we could do for them. It's not that we spent all Saturday and Sunday doing things for them. Okay?
Right.
We had 4.
Yeah.
So it was always a balance on what we could do for them,
Right.
with them.
And
there were times when I would go do 2 things with 2 of them, and you would go do 2 things with 2.
Especially during the sports times that we
Sports-
did. Play.
sporting times.
When they played in high school and whatnot, we couldn't go to their games.
Sometimes I was at a junior high game.
Yes,
You were at
yeah.
the high school game.
So there was
and
lots
all
of
this
lots
stuff.
of that. But I'll just say this: I valued the relationship of the family over activities. Okay, so I wasn't super big in letting them do a bunch of sporting activities or dance or I don't know, gymnast, whatever, any of these extracurricular activities of children.
Club sports, all
sports.
those kind of things.
I personally believed that making or the relationship within the family was far more important. So us being around each other, spending time with one another, doing things together was ultimately the most thing to develop them as brilliant adults, which I thank God he helped us do that. They're really awesome people.
And you know what?
No
it
bias
shows
there or anything.
No
but-
bias. It shows today though, because they are each other's best friends.
Yeah.
They have game nights. They do all these things together. When all the schedules align and we're able to get together for a meal or whatever else, it's some of the most fun times.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's been no time between seeing
No,
each other.
no.
We're fortunate. We all live in the same city right now. So those times happen more often than others. But if you're on the Christmas card list, you know that we really
fun
do love each other
Yeah.
and have a fun family.
Yes.
And we look forward to more of them being in the Telluride. Okay, number 4. The 4th and final role
yes.
is
individual. Rob and Lori.
individuals.
Yes.
Because we cannot deny that we are still individuals.
Yes.
Okay? What
Yes.
am I doing to make myself better? You know, I do not expect to change Lori. What
No.
am I won't change. What am I doing to make myself a better Rob for her, for my friends, for the people I work with,
Yeah.
for my children? No order here. But how am I working on myself to get better?
Right.
But there are also things that I do alone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Not many of them, but there are things that, for example, I love cars. So I go to car events.
Right.
We go a lot, but sometimes I go by myself.
Right.
Because you decided or you have something that you're going to do by yourself.
Right.
You're going to
Right.
go on a girls' morning with brunch or something or
hike.
whatever those, or you're going to do a hike.
When we did a lot of traveling for car stuff, you did your work, because that's your interest too. But then I would go so I can go on hikes wherever around this country. So yes, I had to also do things, hobbies, if you will, that I was interested in that Rob wasn't, but that made me better too, because just like he was saying of having to better himself all the time, I have to better myself. I want to be a better human being, you know? not just for me, but for personally, but for everybody around me. Because if I'm better and I take care of myself in ways that make me a better human, not just selfish ways, not just everything is about me. That's I want to make that clear. I need to make myself better so that I can be a better human being.
Correct.
Ultimately.
So this is, hopefully we answered the question, how we've
Hopefully.
stayed interested for 30 plus years. I will say this, I've never, until we were asked this question by many people, okay, I never really thought about it.
Right.
I never thought about, why am I still interested? I just am. There are new things, new facets of you that I learn, or I appreciate, or it's like, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, all right, and adapt and whatever else.
Right.
So that's what's I've never thought about it as, how am I going to stay interested?
Right.
I'm just interested.
You're
Period.
just interested, and being that we want to change together, and we never thought about it that way until on in our relationship, or more when people would talk to us about getting married and stuff. That would be kind of an advice I would give them. But we do change. So the interested part is that don't allow yourself to put each other in a box. This is how they are, and this is how they're going to be.
This is how you were 20 years ago.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
No.
So because you are changing, you get to learn new things all the time, and that's fun and exciting, if you ask me. Now, challenging too.
Oh, very
I mean,
challenging. Very challenging.
You don't argue the way you used to, or you don't express the way you used to do that. Well, then you take your I have to check myself. Okay, no, he is changing, or I am changing. I'm hearing things differently, so I need to work on that. So it's all fun.
There's always an extension of grace.
Yeah.
Towards each other.
Yeah.
Right? If there is a period of time that he's looking at that differently, or she's looking at that differently, give them space with grace.
Right.
Give them space with grace. Okay, great.
All
so
right.
Thank you for the question. You know who you are. And if you want to submit a question, if you want to see if we'll answer it, drop it in the comments, or send us an email,
exciting.
or fill out the form. All that information will be in the description. I recommend, if you want to stay anonymous, you fill out the form. Or if you know us, just text.
Our experience.
If
we can pass a little wisdom or a little.
So if you have Filipino parents and you have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls, and you want to be married 30 plus years, well then maybe this fits you.
Very specific on who this might be for.
Maybe it fits you, but otherwise, just we hope you walk away from the video with just a little piece of something that maybe encourages you to be a better human.
There we go.